Mr. President, at the end of 2022, around December, Senator Johnson called me in the morning through Mary Yeru and said, Jerry, get yourself prepared for leadership. I want you to run for the presidency. And I asked him, I said, President for what, Mr. Senator? And he asked me, are you a friend? I said, I'm not a friend, Senator, but he just said President. He said, President of Liberia. He said, MPR. I'm the leader of MPR. I contested the presidency 2 times in this country. I keep both third and fourth. I'm getting older. I want you to go for it. Mr. President, we came to compound here. Senator Johnson cast the white ballot and told the Myanmar people that this was your political leader of the MDR. Mr. President, right after that, when I got in married, you called me and said, Jerry, I need to see you. And I went.
How come before the election, I was one of those, and after the election, telephone closed.
We noticed something strange of kind of preamble, especially when you were able to skip over the speaker who is present and instead you went to the deputy speaker.
The speaker is not here. House of Rep, the entire House of Rep. You can see that the speaker is not there. The speaker father, the deputy speaker father is not there. You know, our former president address people and people can be absent. I announced that. That's why.
He wanted to buy time to pray and to serve his people. So every time a presidential candidate came and he would go and say, I will make you president, but I want you to buy me time. He did that with President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. And President Sirleaf at the time that there were 15,000 UN soldiers in this country, that she had the opportunity to execute war crime. And she said to him, when you make me president, I will buy you time. And he went from village to village to campaign for Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to be president because he wanted time. President Johnson became president and she bought him time for 12 years. People went to Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and they said, why aren't you bringing war crime court? He said, look at the country. Nobody is talking about war crime. People are worried about the next daily bread. They worry about their children going to school. They worry about hospitals. So Prince Johnson bought time for 12 years. And when Ellen Johnson left power, President Weah came and his program, Propo, and he went and said, if that is Propo, then I think that's the man I can talk to. I need to buy some time. He went to President Weah and said, I'll make you president. I want to buy time to serve my people. And President Weah said, when you make me president, I will buy you time. He got out into Nima County in Liberia. He campaigned. And President Weah became president. And when the citizens asked President Weah said, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf came here and spent 12 years and did not bring war crime court. I am not bringing war crime court. Senator Johnson enjoyed 6 years building schools and relating to his people. When President Weah's time ended, And he heard about rescue mission. He said, I'm not going to support you. I'm going to go to rescue because I want to be rescued. He went to rescue and did more than what he did for Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and Weir. He produced a vice president and produced a president simultaneously. And he was promised time. But when the time came, the time that was promised him was never given. Senator Johnson was troubled. Senator Johnson was troubled. He called me 10 o'clock in the night. And he said, distinguished. And I said, my brother. Every time he calls me distinguished. And I will respond and say, my brother. What is the problem? He said, I'm troubled. I was promised time. I was not given time. And now we're talking about World Crown Court. And I said to him, when they touch you, they will touch me. Nobody will prosecute you. He said, are you sure? And I said, go and sleep. The following 2-3 days, he called me. Every week, Senator Johnson will call me 2-3 times. Around 9, 10 o'clock at night. And I was always say to him, you will not be prosecuted. And at one point, he went out when the children were interviewing him. And at this time, I believe the press was bombarding him with interviews. And things were out of control. And he called me. And I said to him, touch one, touch all. And he went to the press the next day and he said on radio, touch one, touch all. Then I called him the following day. I said, you don't have to say that. It is understood. There are 106,000 ex-combatants in this country. Most of whom are in AFL, EPS, DAL, whatever, immigration, motorbike riders, taxi drivers, 106,000. You will not be prosecuted. Every hand in this country has a blood stain, and you will not be singled out. When will Senator Johnson be forgiven? There was a resolution that came from the House of Representatives where the representatives signed a resolution for World Crown Court, and that resolution was sent to the House of Senate. And we rushed that resolution, and we signed it in the absence of Senator Johnson. He was not in chambers at that time. The following day, he came to work, and he met us going up and down with that resolution. 28 of us have already signed. Some of my colleagues from the southeastern region refused to sign. If Thomas Senator Johnson be forgiven. There was a resolution that came from the House of Representatives where the representatives signed a resolution for World Crown Court, and that resolution was sent to the House of Senate. And we rushed that resolution, and we signed it in the absence of Senator Johnson. He was not in chambers at that time. The following day, he came to work, and he met us going up and down with that resolution. 28 of us have already signed. Some of my colleagues from the southeastern region refused to sign. If Thomas Yaya Nimley doesn't sign, I will not sign. I went to them and I said, go and sign. I'm going to sign it.
Charges on the beat.
To get your information.
Okay, tune to Spoon to get your information. Tune to Spoon to be part of our discussion. If you want to know what is happening in Liberia, you want to know what the policymakers are doing, you want to get the updates, the analysis, you want to hear the critical voices and know exactly where Liberia stands at the moment, tune to Spoon. You want to engage with the policymakers. You want to hear what Liberians are confronted with, what they are talking about on a daily basis. Just tune to Spoon. I'd like to welcome all of you across the world. Thanks for joining us tonight on another edition of the program. Of course, this is your favorite late night show, the Late Night Politics on Spoon. We're here again tonight, live across the Spoon Network, Spoon FM 107.5. We're live on Fabric Radio 101.1 FM. Thanks to all of the folks joining us across the world on several other frequencies. Thanks to the many of you joining us on the affiliate radio stations, as well as online on Spoon TV on Facebook, Fabric TV on Facebook, Super TV on Facebook, and of course Spoon TV, that's YouTube, Spoon Talk Live. So thanks for joining us tonight. My name is Nelson Colette. I want to welcome all of you who have joined us. Kindly share the program as you come on tonight, as it promises to be very engaging with a whole lot to talk about tonight. Too many things happening in the country all at the same time, and a lot more expected to come up. What we do here is to provide you the information, provide you the update with a diverse panel here. We bring you analysis on those issues and afford you the time to have your say on those different issues of national concerns every night. I like to say thanks to everyone tonight for joining us. And again, please share the program as you come on, as we engage in another great show, another great conversation tonight for the forward march of our country. With a whole lot happening across Liberia, I want to firstly go to the comment section and recognize a few of you joining us here tonight. I see Charles Delan is here. Thanks for joining us. Madam Marcia Snelling, thanks for joining us, ma'am. We appreciate you for coming on tonight. Moses Momolu is here. He's joining us from Iowa. Thanks for coming on. Yes, I see Opie O'Neill Johnson joining us as well. Annie Flomo is here tonight. Thanks for coming on. Harris Kwehe joining us. Aloysius Tente Jr. is here tonight as well. Thanks for coming on. I see Albert Bass Jr. joining us. Teresa Samson Oma is here as well. Noel Elliott, thanks for coming on. I see Esther Williams. Andrew Abaupa is here tonight as well. Hipko Kasi, thanks for joining us. Eric McGill, E.K. Seaton, Dominic Median, Francis Red joining us from New Jersey. Thanks for coming on tonight. Justin Brown, Dominic Median. All right. I see Martha Ricks joining us tonight as well. And Amos Johnson. All of you coming on tonight, we appreciate you for joining the late night show. Again, please share the program as you come on, as we take you around, provide you the updates firstly, before moving to the actual show. So thanks for coming on. We appreciate all of you joining us tonight. Jobino Colley, Moses Kuroma from New Georgia Estate, Emmanuel Fode III joining us as well. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate all of you as we take you through another show tonight. You know, we do this together. You on the other side of the screen, we here, um, and we do it together. There's no late night show without you guys. That's why it's important that you come on. It's important you share the program. It's important you engage in the comment section. It's always important that you share the program. Just call in when the lines are open and share your thoughts on the different issues because we're in this together. This is what we can do for our country. Years back, we didn't have these kinds of opportunities. We didn't have the kinds of privileges we have now, where we can sit from the comfort of our homes and just talk to thousands of people across the world. Yes, through the magic of radio, we could do that, but there was some sort of limit to how we went about it compared to now, where we can not just talk to people, but get to see them, get to engage with them, and then you're not coming on, but you can engage in the comment section. You can tell us how you feel about what we're saying. You can agree with us. You can disagree with us. That's the beauty that comes with what we do, and we have to make the most of it to shift the narrative in our country and get our country on the right path. And so I'd like to welcome everyone tonight. Mr. Jedau Cindy is one of the first. I have a video for Cindy that I want to use to welcome the man tonight. Uh, all of you joining the show. Wait. I just hope Cindy didn't delete that video. But even if he did so, I got a video stored in my archive, somewhere. So if Sandy even did that video, it will not help me because I know what. Oh, the man deleted the video. I wanted to use the video to welcome Sandy to the show tonight, but I don't know, for some reason I can't get hold of it. But we the media people, when we want to get something, we can get it. And sometimes before we tell you, say we will turn you, will rack, it means that the rack already in our hand. Oh, but well, all the thing they are talking here, it is only win. It is only one. It's like a man won. You know? So yes, please share the program. Keep sharing the show. It's gonna be a great show tonight. The first edition of the late night show for the week. It's gonna be an amazing week. And the late night show um is gonna bring you nothing less than the best as we keep engaging, keep talking about our country like Liberia. So I want to welcome Cindy with this video. Look, if I get a video, thanks to Emmy. Yeah, Emmy. Emmy will be our our digital treasure. you know, just as a treasure can keep all your money in your organization, that Emmy can keep all our video this. So now once any video, just call Emmy. Emmy will give it to you. So the video is coming up. I want to play this video to welcome Cindy to the show. But it's gonna be a great show. You can rest assured. Look, the guys on the late night show have talents. And Cindy said he's what? Multi-talented. You know. It Cindy did something with the video. The way the video taking long, I can understand myself. I try to understand, but making to all. Yeah, so there's a whole lot happening across Liberia. We're gonna bring you up to speed with the happenings across the country. Yes, but let me get this one up real quick, very very quick. This one up. I hope it doesn't have watermark and all of that. Yeah, so there's a whole lot happening across the country, and as we come on, it's not just about bringing you the analysis, but bring you up to speed, most importantly, with what the happenings are across the country. And that's very important. And so, whole lot of happenings across the country, plenty of things happening in Liberia, and one of those being, yes, most of you must have followed, you know, The weekend was an engaging one. The weekend was an interesting one. Uh, the funeral service of Senator Prince Johnson was as controversial as, you know, the living body of the man himself, Senator Prince Johnson. You know, and yes, so there are mixed views, mixed reactions about the whole funeral service, how it played out, how it turned out, the different reactions, the engagements there. Some people think that um, national leaders went a bit far in terms of how the uh, you know approached the issues at the funeral service, ranging from what Senator Yahya Nimlin said to the response from the vice president, you know, and then moving to Speaker Kuhn, and then so yes, there are just mixed reactions about everything that happened on the weekend at the funeral service of the senator. But interestingly, the senator was laid to rest. And the rest now is conversation, is analysis, is discussion, is who said what was right, who said what was wrong, and all those different conversations going on. Senator ex-President George Weah was pushing the need for the people of the county to come together as one people. See reason to unite, since in fact the godfather of the county, political godfather, Senator Prince Johnson, is no more. He urged the citizens to commit to peace, and he thought that the legacy of Senator Prince Johnson, the legacy left back, or the legacy, let me put it that way, is just a very great one, is a remarkable one, and there's a need for the people of Liberia, especially the people of Niba County, to unite. Um, the current president did similar thing, calling on the people of Niba County to see that funeral service as something that should bring them together. The departure of Senator Prince Johnson from the stage as something that should unite them even more, make them stronger as a people than further dividing them. Well, Senator Yaya Nimlin said the people, the people, uh, the people. When I say the people, okay, so let's go back to former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Senator Prince Johnson wanted time, so he threw his support behind former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Yes, she was able to give him time. Despite everything that happened during the war, his involvement and all of that, but she was able to give him time. She lived up to her commitment, what she committed herself to. She was able to live up to that. Former President George Weah did the same, but this time with the rescue betrayed him after going in the trenches, and he was saying that it was that frustration, that contributed to his death. But God has forgiven him, and so that statement triggered a lot. We intentionally capture one aspect of the statement in the previous edition of the show, and then yes, we will take a look at the other aspect as well. But after several weeks of this news from the office of the first lady, about 2 weeks now, the office of the first lady have the office has dismissed. The first lady has dismissed uh, two staff from her office, those connected with this scholarship situation. They've been suspended for 1 month without pay while investigation is ongoing. Suspended on allegation of collecting some 4,000 from a Liberian parent on with the intent of securing a scholarship for the children in Great Britain. And so, yes, this action, is being analyzed from different angles. There are others who see this as a very good move, while others think that what is happening now is belated. Um, and there are some who just think that it's a good thing that the office of the first lady is taking action, regardless the time or what have you. And then you have the MCC compact. Liberia is expected to get up to 500 million in the second compact from the Millennium Challenge, the U.S. government. The last time we got a compact, we saw a lot of other sectors that were improved as a result of the compact. You talk about infrastructure, the roads, the energy sector, mainly, in other areas benefited from the previous compact. Liberia won. And as the US government stated, winning the compact does not guarantee you getting whatever amount, but there are frameworks, there are procedures you have to follow, there are, there and all of those things. So Liberia did not just win the compact, but processes have started that will lead to the country securing this particular compact of getting up to 500 million or even more based on the country's performance. So today, the finance minister, Minister Augustine Kwehe um, met with a delegation of the Maryland Challenge Corporation visiting Liberia, and it was a very fruitful meeting. The delegation paid a courtesy visit to the country, at which the minister emphasized the importance, how important it is for Liberians to put aside political differences. Oh, you're from this party, you're from the other party, you're from CDC, you're from Unity Party, and then um, fighting against this. No, he thought that this is a good news for the country and that every Liberian, regardless of where one sits, should embrace this, should see this as a win for the country. That the MCC compact should bring all Liberians together, no matter the political or religious connection, and they should see this as a win for the country. And he went on to take a look at some of what happened in the past. For example, as a result of the previous compact, there were tangible benefits that the country got in the increase in access to electricity from the Mankofi hydro. There was an improved water distribution throughout the country. The LWSC and other sectors benefited from the previous compact. So he's been calling on Liberians to see this as a win for the country. So all is being done to set up recruitment, and everything is being done to roll out the processes leading to the implementation and all of that. So yes, these are just a few of the many happenings here. I told you earlier I'm going to bring the guys on, but let me play you this video. Let me play you this video to welcome our man Sandy to the show. I want to welcome Sandy to the show. Sandy, welcome to the show. It's good to have you. I heard you. What? What's the title of the song you are singing? What's the song about? What's the title of the song?
Well, Nelson, I have several talents. I play drum, I sing. So that was an African festival that happened in New Mexico. So I went to represent Liberia. I went to represent Grand Gita.
But I see you playing the drum, but the outfit is. Sandy, what was this drum beat really corresponding? It was.
I mean, you can't tell.
A connection.
You can't tell. You can't see it.
No, I find it difficult to see. To figure out the connection.
If I cannot sing without playing drum. I really don't like to sing without playing drum. I do better singing when I'm playing drum. So that song say, joy, joy, our Lord is our Savior. We should worship Him. We should not get tired. That's what that song
Mm,
is. One of my favorite crown songs.
wow. But
Yeah.
what was the event? You said it was an African.
It was an
Um.
African cultural festival that was
Okay.
held here last Sunday here in New Mexico.
Oh wow.
And yeah,
Wow.
so yeah, we have a very small Liberian community. In fact, it's mostly my family and I with few pockets here and there.
Okay.
So I had the opportunity to be there, and I decided to, showcase the crown culture just by playing the crown music. I mean, something that you
Wow.
can't do in Pere. I know you can do it. So it's
But
just, just,
but
just
you know, Sandy, to be honest, the drum beat is not corresponding. You
I
know,
beg
I
you.
don't know.
I
Who
beg
else
you.
noticed that the drum beat is not corresponding?
Of course, it's
You know,
corresponding.
so you the- you're ahead of the drum beat. You know, you should
No,
be on the same.
no. The job you were corresponding on, man. I was singing, and yeah, and if people really enjoy. I mean, if you watch that thing to the end, you will see that the people really enjoy it.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
yeah,
wow, wow. But that was a great one. I mean, that was a very great one. But
yeah.
welcome to the show, Sandy. It's good to have you on tonight. With a whole lot happening across the country, I think you can just do your opening and then we get the show started officially.
What else? Like you said, several things are happening across our country. I will continue to sell this message to the Liberian government, and hopefully one day somebody will pick it up. Uh, starting this year, January, I think, yeah, January 1st. I believe it's January 1st. Ghana joined several other African countries like Rwanda, Kenya, and now open free visa for several African, I mean, for all Africans, not several Africans, but for all Africans. So now, once you hold your Liberian passport, you can enter Ghana. Well, Ghana, you were able to enter with your ECOWA passport, so it's not strange. But let's say somebody coming from East Africa that don't have an ECOWA passport can now enter Ghana without visa. Somebody coming from West Africa, Liberia, can enter Rwanda without visa. Nelson, what that does is that it makes it easy for people to travel within your territory. They come to your country. And when they come to your country, they spend money, they invest. So I will want to just encourage the Liberian government. This is not about us, Liberians. I already have my Liberian ECOWA passport. I can go home anytime. This is not about, I'm sure, my brother Dr. J, I'm sure he has some sort of Liberian document to enter his country. This is about someone who is not from Liberia that want to go to Liberia, but want a very simple, easy pathway to get to Liberia, where they don't have to go through the hustle and bustle of applying for visa, waiting for a couple of weeks before visa can come in, before going to your country. It make it easy for tourists to come to the country. And whenever tourists come to the country, they spend money. So I want to encourage the government, think about visa free for African countries and visa upon arrival for everyone else. So that way we can attract more people to come to Liberia, to visit Liberia, spend their money. And when they spend the money, the local people, our people, get to have a hold of that money, and we grow the economy that way. But I look forward to a great show.
Well, thanks a lot, Sandy, and that's indeed a very important point. That's something you've been pushing for. That's something you've been pushing for some time. And it's very important. We will only get to know and experience the benefits that goes with that when we apply it. you know, and that's what it is. But Dr. J, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight. Can you hear me? You want to say something? Let's be sure you can hear us. You are muted.
Yes, I hear you guys very clearly.
Okay. So it's good to have you on. You want to do your opening just before we move into the conversation tonight?
Yeah, so Nelson, thank you for having me on today. And just want to little throw a lot of buttress on what my brother Cindy was talking about. You know, when you create an opportunity for other people to come into your country legally, the influx of other people, you have new ideas, innovations, and stuff like that. And it also expand the economy because people come in to invest. They see something that attract them, they want to invest in your economy. We cannot keep the country hostile only among Liberians or people of Liberian descent. So I think I support and concord directly with what Cindy is saying. Cindy is absolutely making a lot of sense when it comes to that aspect. And we have several other things that have been going around in Liberia that we're going to discuss. So I don't want to go ahead of myself to start to discuss topic that we don't have. So I'm looking forward to having a good show with you guys tonight. Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Indeed, we look forward to a great show tonight. Um, a very great show tonight. But I want us to start the conversation with. I want us to start the conversation with this issue. Now, we follow closely over everything that transpired over the weekend. Um, the World of Wars, uh, the the different exchanges with national leaders and all of that at Senator Johnson's funeral. But there's something he said. There's something that was said uh, by Senator Nimley, Yaya Nimley of Grand Julia County. Uh, and I know whenever we talk about this, Sandy doesn't want us to go to his political godfather,
No, man. I'm like, we about to waste our time again tonight talking about that funeral. I
Man,
mean,
it's not a waste of time, man. It's not.
you know, let's see.
It's not a
We're
waste
going
of
to
time.
pass on this, but this whole debate about, and this has sparked a debate. This whole debate about betrayal of Prince Johnson, who betrayed the late senator, the fallen Nima County lawmaker, Senator Prince Johnson. Was he betrayed in the first place? Someone saying that went into agreement with him, the current president now, and the current president did not live up to the agreement. So now we'll go back to the question as to who betrayed the fallen senator.
He went to rescue and did more than what he did for Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and Weir. He produced a vice president and produced a president simultaneously. And he was promised time. But when the time came, the time that was promised him was never given. Senator Johnson was troubled. Senator Johnson was troubled. He called me 10 o'clock in the night. And he said, distinguished. And I said, my brother. Every time he calls me distinguished. And I will respond, say, my brother. What is the problem? He said, I'm troubled. I was promised time. I was not given time. And now we're talking about World Crown Court. And I said to him, when they touch you, they will touch me. Nobody will prosecute you. He said, are you sure?
This, I know we're beating on this You want to say you beat on the dead horse or whatever, but time. How did this whole time thing get into the picture? Was the time okay? So the senator said previous administration, former president Ellen Johnson Sirleaf promised time and she gave time. Former president George Weah promised time and he gave time. But he came to rescue promised time, and rescue did not give time. Would it have been a good idea for rescue to have given time? Is it because of this time issue? The senator called him 10 p.m. and said, "Distinguished, I am troubled. I was promised time and I'm not getting time. And in fact, everything has flipped over. All the budget, the trenches I went in, the time still did not come. Here we are talking about war crimes court." But then he is saying that he told his colleague that forget it. Anybody that tests you, they test me. Meanwhile, he went and he signed in the absence of this man who saw him as a brother and thought to complain to him about time. But I mean, lay that point aside. Was the time in the interest of the Liberian people? Would it have been prudent enough for the rescue to have given the time? And according to Senator Nimle, the fallen senator wanted. Is there any reason to believe that the fallen senator wanted time? And it was because of time that he was going and telling the people of Nima County to vote for rescue. Is this another funeral story that because when somebody died, they get made statement, and so we get every other thing coming into the picture now? Is there any reason to believe that this was politically motivated? I mean, I want us to start a conversation from here, Cindy. I know, Cindy, you're really not interested in this whole conversation about the your kinsman, but interestingly, we need to have this conversation. I mean, let's know where we headed.
Yes.
No, Nelson, I have no issue with talking about anything concerning someone named Yaya. But look, I think this topic about what was said at Senator Johnson's funeral is it's just a waste of time, honestly, because Johnson could not speak for him. I mean, he man is gone. He can't speak for himself. So I believe that this is just another funeral, tribute conversation. But according to the senator from Grand Jida, Nimna Yaya, he said the two of them were friends. So, I mean, who can sit here and argue that the late senator did not say this to his friend? So again, Prince Johnson can come and say, "Oh no, I'm disputing what Yaya Nimna said." So we can only here say, I mean, all of us here can just either deny because we may not want to believe it, or just move on. But here's the thing, Nelson. Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
What did Prince Johnson say? He was buying time. President Salif gave him time. President Weah gave him time, and now Bouakat is not giving him time. One thing I know, oh no, not one that I know, but what we have heard is that Senator Johnson was actually convinced by the current vice president to go ahead and sign this war economic crime code, and that it would, quote unquote, that this thing, it will not go anywhere, just go sign that thing. So let's believe that the vice president gave the late senator that assurance that this thing is not going anywhere. Then why would put fear in Senator Johnson to sign? I mean, why would he be begging for time? Knowing that he has been assured by his own son, the vice president of the country, that this is not going anywhere. Why would now make the senator, to fear that there will be no time in his favor? And Senator Johnson also knew that this war crime code is not an overnight thing, that it wasn't going to be an overnight thing. So I don't believe that he feared time. I don't believe that he feared time. I do know very well he didn't want the issue of war and economic crime code to persist. He didn't want it to be a topic of discussion. He didn't want it to come to surface. Senator Johnson. So those he supported. Now let's go back to Madam Salif. Madam Salif did not give Senator Johnson time. Madam Salif did not bring the
And that's what I want us to come to. And that's exactly where I want us to come, Cindy. All of what happened under the 12 years of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, was it a successful time that was given to Senator Johnson? Did Senator Johnson succeed in getting the time that Senator Yahya Nimla is talking about here? I mean, and this is very important because, I mean, aside from what he's saying, we can make our own analysis about everything we saw under the 12 years of President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the possibility with respect to the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Code and all of those things that happened versus the expectation of Senator Prince Johnson and his conduct during that period, and comparing it to what the senator is saying now.
Nelson, let me tell you, and I'll say this in a very clear tone.
Mm-hmm.
The greatest mistake we made as a country after the war was to elect Madam Salif. And let me say that.
You think
let me
so?
say why. Yes, let me say why. If we wanted the War and Economic Crime Code, if we wanted justice for our victims, Helen Salif was not the person for the job. We know it. We knew it because she sponsored the war. She was indicted by the TRC. So how will you make someone head of your country who sponsored the Civil War, who herself was indicted by the TRC, who, when you bring the War and Economic Crime Code, will have to face that War and Economic Crime Code? So no, let me end this. Madam Salif, 12 years was not for Prince Johnson. Madam Salif did not bring the War and Economic Crime Code not because Prince Johnson supported her, because she knew that the War and Economic Crime Code was going to go against her. She will have faced justice. She will have been brought to justice. So it was a big mistake on that front. If we wanted the War and Economic Crime Code, we should have elected a neutral person who did not.
Who was the neutral person? Are you saying that Liberians should have elected President George Weah in 2005? Because if you went back to 2005, President George Weah and former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf were the two formidable candidates in the race.
We had other great.
We have gone for President George Weah in 2005.
We had other great people electing George Weah in 20. I was a kid in Morovia stepping people water for George Weah in 2005. And looking back now, if we are elected Weah in 2005, it would have been even a disaster. That time he was in Mentro, he knew nothing.
Come on, man. Come on, Sedi. Come on, Sedi.
It was terrible. Nothing.
You can say that. Sedi, former President George Weah was over 35. He was over 35 at the time.
Politically.
Right?
Politically.
He was over 35.
Politically, I take it back. Let me correct you.
I won't say the other one was it, but he was over 35 at the time.
Politically.
And you say that electing him in 2005 would have been a disaster? You think so, Sandy?
It would have been a mess. It would have been a mess. At that time, the man was just a super celebrity. He had just come from playing football. I don't even know what we were thinking about that time. We're singing Munya Munya, but we were kids, so I forgave myself. But there were plenty of options. You have people that vanished more than at that time. Yeah, I mean, there were plenty of other options. A neutral person will have brought the War and Economic Crime Code. So that 12-year delay by Madam Salif was not to favor Prince Johnson. It favored herself. Now come to George Weah. President Weah, we can argue that, okay, maybe he wanted to favor Prince Johnson, but also his argument then was that he wanted to focus on development. So, I mean, if any argument at all for anybody that gave Prince Johnson a free ride, maybe it can be George Weah, but it wasn't Madam Salif. Madam Salif did it in her own favor. So going back to Senator Nimla's statement.
Yeah, just to conclude.
To conclude.
So are you saying that your political godfather was not saying the truth?
I don't have a political godfather.
No, okay. No, but Cindy, Senator Johnson is to Nima, and Senator Yaya is to Grand Gile.
The Grand Gila people have not declared anyone their political godfather.
Senator, you are denying someone what rightfully belong to them.
If there is someone that should be Grand Gila political godfather, would give it to Zoe Emmanuel Peno. He is the longest serving politician in Grand Gila history. But we are not giving it to anybody. Zoe Emmanuel Peno has been in politics as long as Prince Johnson was in politics.
Thank you.
So Yaya's statement does not speak for this government. Yaya's statement will not delay or derail the war and economic crime code process. But I must be frank, though, Nelson. I'm afraid. I don't think this thing will come to pass. And I challenge the government. I want to live to see it, but I don't think they will bring it to pass.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Sandy. Welcome to the show, Moba. I want to appreciate you for coming on. Emmy, welcome to the show as well. I think that's an air freshener, putting up something like a smoke or what, something, right, Moba?
Hot wine.
Oh, okay. Whenever Moba comes with a cup of tea, whenever Moba comes with a cup of tea, you can rest assured you're gonna have a good show. But when Moba comes with a red cup, just if you have the opportunity, just mute Moba for the entire night because it's not gonna be good. But Dr. J, let's hear your take on this issue. What do you make of the statement coming from the senator, Senator Nimley? I mean, what do you think the senator intended to achieve as a result of, that statement? His presentation. And I listened to Senator Snow today. He said Senator Nimley was sitting right behind him, rehearsing everything he wanted to say.
Listen.
Everything you're going to say will not be easier. He said, "Yeah, I will say." And the senator said portion of it. After saying portion of it, he drank a bottle of juice while the people were clapping. He went a more. And he went back to the entire issue, guys. Dr. J, what do you think the senator intended to achieve as a result of that particular speech presented?
Listen, first of all, we have to understand that Senator Yaya Nimley is a politician. He's trying to create a narrative or scenario that is going to make it seem like the government betrayed Senator Prince Johnson, the late senator. So he's trying to create the narrative that the government did not stick to their words. But what is important here is that the Joseph Iman Boyka-led government, whatever they promise the Liberian people is what they are doing. And that's significant for us to identify. They preach that they will establish a war and economic crime code. So whatever Tomo Yahanimne is saying that they betrayed Prince Johnson, I would prefer betraying a single person than to betray a whole country. There's the reason why. Quite often politicians sit behind the scene and sign deals and make deals, political deals that affect the people. Okay, I'm going to have this influence on all the people of Nimba. They listen to me. I'm going to make you president, but then don't prosecute me. The fact that you're making such negotiation, don't prosecute me, it means that you did something bad or you don't want to be prosecuted. So Thomas Yahanimne's statement was political. But what Thomas Yahanimne failed to know, he himself betrayed Prince Johnson, because if somebody calling you at 11, if I calling you, listen, at 11 p.m. every night, don't sound, and you sound, you also betrayed me.
No. If you want to as betrayal, then that's fine. But Dr. J, let's put it this way.
Okay.
The man called him at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock and said, "Distinguished, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. And in fact, the people betray me. I want that time, promise me time, but I'm not getting time."
No, but listen.
Now he has shown him that, look, don't worry. Anybody test you, they test me. But he went on to say that when the War Crime Code document came, he and the other colleagues, then they sat down, they brainstormed, they agreed to sign it. Told the senator, the man who he told that when they test you, they test me, the man was not there. But all of them sat down, they agreed and they signed it.
So that's what I'm saying.
If your argument is that it was better to betray one man or to not keep your promise, quote unquote, keep your promise with Senator Prince Johnson in the interest of the 5 million Liberian people. Don't you think the same argument applied to Senator Yahya Nimle, who told him, yes, distinguished, anybody touch you, they touch me, I got your back, I got you, the war crime court thing, but he went and signed it. Don't you think he
But
did it in the interest of the 5 million people as well?
but that's what I'm saying. That's my exact point. But Tomo Yahanime want to see me like the government of Joseph Imam betrayed, and he himself also betrayed. So he should not make it seem that the government betrayed Senator Johnson. Senator Johnson, if it is true that he always been buying time on the expense of the Liberian people, this time around, this government promised the Liberian people. That's the problem. We all sat here and argue that we want the establishment of the War and Economic Crime Code. When when a legitimate president or legitimate government say let's go about doing it, then people want to make it seem like it's targeting Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson is not the only one that fought war in Liberia. There are several other combatants. So the idea is the issue of impunity. People commit crimes, people commit atrocity against the state and walk away with it. It has to come to stop. At what point?
Thank you. Thanks a lot. I want to hold you there and bring Moba in. Moba, do you really believe that Senator Prince Johnson was buying time? What's your analysis around this issue?
Nothing. Like, look, let me say this, right? My brother Sandy laid very clear, for to understand. 2005, Prince Johnson ran independent. Like I think in the second round he supported George Weah, right? After that, and then he supported all the other people. But we don't know the deal, right? That Madam Ellen Johnson said, our former president of the Republic of Liberia, and the late Prince Johnson, former senator, and no one knows what was the deal. Okay, you support me, I will not bring war crime code. But then let us go back. Madam Ellen Johnson selling here in the cookie jar. She was the one, she sent 10,000 United States dollars to start all the problems. You understand? So while we are facilitate something, and then end of the day, I seen I facilitated, and then I want for that thing to come and hunt me. So my Eddie Johnson said he was just playing the cool because he was in the cookie jar. Let me real. And then I go to George Weah, according to Yaga Kodiba. We don't know how true it is. Allegedly, he said George Weah participated in the model war. We don't know. That's what he said. So probably he didn't think that because of that, George, I don't want to bring the war crime code. We don't know. It's just an allegation. So when we talking when Yaya Dimle go and make all those statements, it was wrong. It was wrong. Like my brother said, a political statement. You can just go and say things without fact. And he forgetting to know the same Yaya Dimle man here, Prince Johnson, the former senator, may his soul rest in peace, had a time and they had a quarrel between the both of them. They had a misunderstanding. He said something, and the senator default his statement, and it went into one or two. Why he never said that? Why he never said that? So the whole thing is based
Moba, I want you to be clear with us. I want you to be clear with us. Who had issue with who?
Yaya had issue with the list senator. They had, they had issues. And the issue was not resolved. We don't know what.
What was the issue? Because listen, man, Moba,
was,
me,
he made a statement. Listen, I watched the video. He made a statement that the crime and the Gio people. I mean the poor. That's the poor from Sano now, right? I mean, from Sano.
From Sano, we are Sano people.
Okay. My brother sent it right? And the crime people. They were. I mean, the Gio. They were into Kohu, which of course, and not Kohu rather, which of course, when a woman married a man, when they know that the person is Gio, they will kill the person, two person. He said it. Insertion. He said it. The video out there. I even put the video in the chat room. I don't know why you guys not watching the video. And then the senator stood up and default that statement. He said you cannot say that. And I had an argument in the House of Senate, right? So
but these are regular.
We agree, but you can't make
engagement.
Like that, Nelson. You can miss it, and the senator was very Buddha. Now the new one on Facebook, right? The senator was very, very much, like he was like, no, You sort of say things like that because we are one. We're trying to make this, we're trying to make that. But end of the day, what happens? We never, me and you, nursing, we never know the poor people are coming out. We never know that the poor people smoke that are peace pipe. Nobody knew about it. He just said the man calling and explaining things to him. So am I going to believe it? No, I would not believe it. It is it's just political in a sense that he just went over there to make sure he says something to Joey. I can call him right after that and say, "My man, you did well. I live on post." Because during the election, he said a lot of things. He said a lot of things to Senator Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Kpankun, how they arcade us. Why are you voting for them? He went in Grand July and said it. That's true. They on record. I put a video in the chat room. So we shouldn't come here and iron the thing. The war crime code will come in Liberia because during the election, right? During the election, the President Joseph Yema Boaka campaigned on war crime and economic crime code in Liberia. And Senator Prince Johnson knew everything. So why even said we discussing that thing now because war crime code, the puppet died, the other person get a man 10. So it means that he was guilty? So no, but under the code of law, if you go to court, how will you know how will you know you're guilty or not? So he knew that he was guilty. So next thing, all the things are political jargon passing all around. They want to say what they want to say. They want to divide the country. They're making things for 2029 part of lies. And but they forget to know that the senior Nimle and the former senator, may so rest in peace, had a misunderstanding. And everybody know about it.
Things a lot more about, but these are things that will happen regularly on the floor at the legislature. Lawmakers will go at each other. They will be very brutal. They will engage. These are things that will happen, and it's part of the regular legislative, and they leave from there. They don't appear like people who have had misunderstanding like that, because that is the biggest political theater, and obviously there will be.
I agree, Nelson. But my concern, I mean, any other day, we shouldn't put it we shouldn't come here on, because all one now people using it as a campaign.
Okay, so Maba, in conclusion, because we have to take Emmy and transition quickly. Yeah. In conclusion, you do not agree with the statement that Senator Prince Johnson was buying time.
No, I would not agree with it, because Eddie Johnson said he was in the war.
Okay,
so and so for 12 years. How? That's my question to the Liberian people.
So what do you think? What do you think the senator wanted to have achieved as a result of that particular statement?
Political game. That's it.
Exactly.
What does it stand to achieve?
Political game to give him for George Weah 2029. That's a campaign on right now. You see on Spoon, you see right now on the Spoon show, you get more sedition than even independent people, because they all running there. The people who cast together the Spoon talk, now all them running there now to make their case, and all their case no facts.
Thank you, Maba. Emmy, you want to come in just before we transition?
Yeah. Hey guys.
He went to rescue and did more than what he did for Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and Weah. He produced a vice president and produced a president simultaneously. And he was promised time. But when the time came, the time that was promised him was never given.
His bottle of juice and zip on it a little bit.
I think I got CJ in it. But anyways, Nelson, I don't know what the puppet talking about here, right? Well, I'm glad he let us know that the War on Economics Crime Code never came. George Weah didn't bring it because of one person. He betrayed 5 million people because of one person. Eddie Johnson certainly did the same thing. That's what he's telling us. So if he's trying to campaign for George Weah, he's not campaigning for George Weah. He's killing him, because most Liberians want the War on Economics Crime Code, and to find out that you give it, you sacrifice the whole country for one person, That is, to me, damning anything that he was trying to do to the rescue government over there. And first of all, he's talking about he would betray. He will not. I want to know what is the time? What was the time that Prince Johnson was asking for? That's what I wanted to do. What time to do what?
I mean, for the delay of this whole court thing, the war crimes court.
So how much time does he need? That time to die? Time to? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, what do you need time for? Are you going somewhere? Or you waiting for you to die? Or what is it? What is it that you're trying to tell us that he needed time? Time to do what? What do you need time for? So I'm not understanding the whole propaganda with this whole funeral service. Or to be this man was a good man. He served the Lord. He went home. He's with the Lord now. But no, it's giving me like, oh, he needed time. He didn't want to rescue this, that. It's disturbing that it all went over there to campaign. Like we said, the last was it Friday or Saturday? They didn't go over there because they love Prince Johnson. They wanted to campaign. Everybody wanted to campaign for 2029. And that's disgusting. And for the Nehemiah to see that, I think they can see through that to think that these people care about them. They just want their votes. Okay? He talked about rescue government was giving something. What was the name? Senator Prince Johnson went to the president to make his son his vice president. He would support him. That's what I think we heard. And that happened. So what is he talking about that he was betrayed? Senator Johnson was the president on the campaign trail. When the president was talking about war and economic crime court, it wasn't a secret. It was all over out there. Videos, footages, he was right there. Even in Nima when they visited Nima. So what is he talking about? That he would betray also and so this and that. What this man is doing is campaigning for himself against the war and economic crime court because he know he's in line. He would go if that course come today. He's going. So now he's trying to push it to make it look like he's talking for the senator. But like I said the last time, the War and Economics Crime Court topic has been in the making for how long? Senator Johnson himself, I've seen so many videos of him saying that this court is not going to come. There are processes that have to be put in place that Liberia has to follow before this court come about. He knew it. This man knew it. He only used to get upset that people used to think that when they said war and economic crime court, everybody looking at him like people that did on it and looking on his side and he won't flip the table. But that's all it was. But Senator Johnson knew that the war and economic crime court, he knew that step. He always used to lay it out. Even on school, he did that before. And I've seen a lot of interviews of him on radio stations in Liberia. He did it. So he wasn't bothered about some war and economic crime court. He knew I mean that it needed a whole lot. Liberia needed to do a whole lot before that court come. He knew it. So all that nonsense about he died because of war and economic crime court, and you stupid and you believe it. But some of us we know better, and I think the Nehemiah know better than the beast. And a lot of Nehemiah said they want to war and economic crime court. Prince Johnson is not Liberia. Prince Johnson may be some hero for some of them, but not everybody. And Liberia is bigger than Prince Johnson, for goodness sake. Who cares? If the whole country
Emmy.
If was a person in one country, so everybody else should go to hell. Come on now.
So Emmy, let's pull it this way.
Political golf.
Let's pull it this way, Emmy. Let's put it this way, Emmy. So considering the argument that he was promised time, if he was promised time but wasn't given time by this administration, I mean, how will you consider that? Cindy, I saw your hand up. We're gonna come to you. I see Toure is setting up in the background when he said we're gonna bring him on. But if he was promised time and didn't get time
to do what, Nelson? I'm trying to understand it.
I mean, I don't understand. Delay. You already know. I mean, Emmy, from the very start of the whole thing here, you know that it's been time for delay. And that's how the senator laid out. Previous administrations wanted time. He wanted time from them. He supported them, and they gave him time. George, we had the same. But JMB promised time, but he wasn't giving time. And that's why, if you listen to one of the clips from Senator Yahya Nimle, he said war and economic crimes court was not one of those things that rescue promise. If you want your administration to
That's
be
a lie.
successful, take it from there.
That's a lie. And
That's
every
not true.
Liberian
That's not true.
know it.
It was one of
I'm
those
on the
things on the
floor.
campaign agenda.
The-
The
Yeah, let me
campaign
just
wanted
conclude. Then
economic crime.
we'll bring Sandy. Then we'll bring Toure in.
Yeah, like I was saying, that's not true. I just told you. It was all over the campaign. Prince Johnson was sitting next to the president in Nehemiah County when the president even talked about that. Everywhere in Monrovia, every district, the president talked about war and economics crime court. So he's a I don't want to insult him. He's our leader. He's a liar. But I would say that he is a liar. He's lying, and every Liberian knows it. Everybody that was watching the campaign, they know that. What Yaya Nimene, they know he's lying. He went over there to muddy the water, but I don't think he succeeded because, first of all, the Prince Johnson trusted his son Jeremiah Kuhn, and he put him up for. And
But,
that
but,
was
but Emily, just before you conclude, do you think this response was the best? Do you think this response was necessary?
Mr. President, at the end of 2022, around December, Senator Johnson called me in the morning through Mary Yelu.
This is not the response I wanted. Okay, so this is it. This should be the.
I saw you cry better than one time.
Up. I'm going. The response from the vice president.
See the war response. It was good, Nelson. Yeah.
When he came back, he said no. Senator Johnson had never been guilty. He never said he's been guilty, and so that whole argument about he wanting time should be trashed. You think that response was necessary, especially at an occasion where the legacy, the last respect is being paid to the senator?
Why not, Nelson? If people keep there trying to act like clowns, why?
Welcome to the show.
You gotta. What's up, Tara? You gotta let everybody. He said it in front of those people, so you have to let those people know that this man is a bloody liar. The senator never told him that, and this is this, and this is that. And I'm closer to the president than he is. How you? The president called. He claims the president called him at night. Okay, so the senator called him. If they were having a conversation about war and economics crime court, Nelson, if you and I was in a war and we were doing something, who do you think I'm going to call in there for us to talk about? You think I'll call Cindy? You ain't know nothing about it. You think I'll call Tirena? You think I'll call? No, I'm calling you. My man, what we doing it together? They pull 0, they pull one, bring up something. But no, that's exactly what's going to happen. It's not going to, not calling him to save him. You just say you're here, you know, cookie jar. Where you come save me from like calling you to come cry on you? That's a lie. Then he showed us where. Then why did he come out and started crying about it, lying that it wasn't on the president's agenda? You know what? Thank you, Liberian people. I think you can see through all of this, and you know now why our war and economics crime court was delayed, because people were serving their own purpose, their own selfish interests, and not considering the country. That's what this Grand Jita senator had just told us on the weekend, that Ellen Johnson said he did not care about the country. Of course, we know why. She was a part of it. Judge Weah as well. So we all know 2029 that they're campaigning for. They're telling us now what they have done to our country, that we're still fighting over this. The one thing that should have been done years ago, because they were there saving an individual and saving themselves.
Thank you. Sandy, you want to come in? I saw your hand up. Then we can bring Toure on before transitioning. Toure, welcome to the show.
Look, welcome, Toure. It's good to see you, brother. Look, when I was just reflecting, when Senator Nimle says that the late Senator Johnson was buying time and that this current administration did not give him the time, is a clear indicator that Senator Nimle believed that this entire war crime court is about Prince Johnson. That's what it indicates. In
You're
fact,
talking about your political leader. Yeah,
with that
your
kind of
political government.
statement, I keep telling you, we don't have political leaders.
My man, the man, he had done. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
go ahead,
We don't have a
Cindy.
political godfather. With that kind of statement, he's trying to now say, well, this was not about the rest of us. This whole war and economic crime code thing was about Prince Johnson. It was Prince Johnson that was buying time.
That's
So
what I
the
said.
rest of us that are being accused, it wasn't about us. This is a challenge to the government. This is an indirect challenge to the government. He may not have thought about it, but
He
I'm
didn't.
analyzing it for the government, free of charge, no pay.
Yeah, what Brian do?
Tomo Nimle Yaya just told the Liberian people, President Boakai, on Saturday at Prince Johnson funeral, that the whole thing about war economic crime code,
One individual.
it was about Prince Johnson, and he was just begging you guys, begging you on me bad time. Helen Johnson, madam, bad time, please don't bring it here. Helen gave him 12 years. Joe, we are my son, I begging him bad time. Joe, we are giving 6 years. You, Boaka, Prince Johnson, beg you for time. And now you rejected the time, they may get pressure and die. So it's a challenge, President Boaka. If you don't bring the war economic crime code, you have proven Yaya Nimle right. That means this whole thing is about Prince Johnson. If you want to prove Yaya Nimle wrong, then bring the war and economic crime code so that he, Yaya Nimle, and the many other who have been accused can go and face the war and economic crime code. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Ture, you want to weigh in on this? Just before transitioning.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Great to be back, obviously. You know, I've been gone for a while, but nevertheless, you guys are all doing fantastic. Happy New Year to every one of you. To our viewers here in the United States and around the world, man. Great to be back. But look, Nelson, let me tell you, since we're talking about buying time, I mean, on that talking, like we all on this live here, we all in this 2025, we are all buying time. You know, we are all buying time until that day, right? that day that is obviously predestined, that all shows shall taste death. Until that time comes, of course we're gonna buy time. We're all buying time around here.
Are we all buying time for war and economic crimes court?
Nelson, look, let me tell you this. Sandy can try to pivot anyhow you want to pivot this thing here, right? But I'm telling you this. The only rational input that I can bring to the discussion is the fact that we can all agree that there are a lot of people that fought war in our country. There are a lot of, actors and actresses around this situation. But the only person that was looked at as a poster child, for all these actors and actresses were Prince Johnson, because he was in the spotlight, right? He was a senator, or senior senator for that matter. So, of course, every time War Crime Code came about, everybody will look at him, but there are a lot of people there, right? Alhaji Nkrumah was there. He passed. God rest his soul. You know what I mean? And we can still say the same thing about Prince Johnson. God rest his soul, right? But at the end of the day, everybody up to today's day, there are a lot of people, there, men and women, that participated in a civil crisis. So we should not use it as if to say every time War Crime Code came about, the only person that people looked at was Prince Johnson. It was not coming from only Prince Johnson alone, right? It was coming from a scope of so many other people. But let me say this. God rest the senator's soul. You know what I mean? We are not God to judge. Whatever he did, that between him and his creator, like the way all of us will have to deal with our little, skeleton that we got in our closets, right? But let me tell you this, though. My disappointment about this whole situation was the fact that his funeral was used as a political satire. That was absolutely disgusting. You don't do that, right? You don't do that. Go there, eulogize, whatever you got to do. Talk about your connection, your connection with the senator over the years. What do you guys do? Talk about these things, right? Do that and get out of there. But don't use that as a political, like soccer match. That someone is trying to use that process to advance their political aggrandizement. I think that was very, very disgusting and just absolutely inappropriate.
That
That's
was the
what
right
happens.
word. It was a political soccer match.
It really was,
It
man.
was.
Like, everybody just trying to bring, everybody just trying. I still have to say, like, it was such an elephant meet that everybody trying to get their.
Everybody want a piece of that pound of meat.
And it was well calculated.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, man.
It was
Like,
well calculated.
You got the so-called youth league, the so-called youth league of the NDR or whatever.
You president of that 55-year-old.
You know what I mean? Since 65,
You know,
this
is important. This is very important. You
But
guys,
Stevie
guys, y'all gotta be careful in a country. Youth in a country. You can be 50 and still be youth. I mean, I'm not thinking about it. Our own brother, Warren Bryan, who is now the superintendent of Montserrat County. Warren Bryan was in your 40 and you are still the youth lead chair of the Unity Party. So I mean, that are you for America, that are you for Liberia. Let's forget our way. Just progress with the conversation.
Vasquez are you. Vasquez are you.
Yeah, imagine Vasco is in 50 and he's still youth, part of the CDC Youth League. But I mean, that's another conversation for
yes, Nelson. Before we transition, I just asking for like 30 seconds, right? Thomas Yaya Nimle is playing high-class politics. If you listen to what he said for 20 years, the senator been begging and asking for time. 20 years. And he been also, like, he has repented. But the Liberian people don't want to forgive him. For 20 years, he repented. He established a church. He preached it. So Thomas Yaya Nimle is saying that he himself asking for forgiveness, we should forgive him. He don't want one clam code. He's trying to save himself. That's what I analyzed. He said this man been asking for repentance for 20 years, asking for forgiveness. The Bible told you to forgive your neighbor. Why we can't forgive? So they don't want for us to establish war and economic code. They want us to say, you know what, we are all Liberians, let's forgive. And that's how the propensity to create a real occurrence of what has happened in the past.
So you can forget somebody, it doesn't mean you can't bring a court. You can the family of their individuals that are involved, they can forgive the person. But doesn't mean justice can is something like.
Well, thanks a lot, guys. But let's transition a bit. you already know that former President George Weah was at that event. He was calling for peace, the need for the country to recommit to unity, the need for everybody to put aside their differences, Liberians to unite based on the kind of legacy that the senator left back. But I today we saw something very, 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 very important, and I want to put these photos up. So today, the finance minister. Now, go back a little. Liberia passed the compact, and Liberia, as one of the countries, was eligible for the compact after passing, getting a very good score. Liberia stands a chance of getting up to 500 million that is expected to engage, let's say, improve several sectors of the country. The U.S. government, immediately after the president made this pronouncement, the U.S. government came up to say that yes, okay, it's true that yes, Liberia passed the compact, but passing the compact does not guarantee that any country will get the 500 million or XYZ amount. There are procedures, there are other things you have to do. You have to be in right standing with those different standards and stuff like that before you get at that point where you can actually enjoy the compact, get what is there in it for you. Today, Liberians saw a delegation, a high-power delegation from the Millennium Challenge Corporation that came to Liberia. They paid a courtesy visit to the to the finance minister, and they had a sit down. They had a great conversation. They're about to, in fact, they're about to roll out the process. They're about to start recruitment and all of those different activities for the compact. At some point, there was this debate about who takes the credit for the compact. Well, the CDC said, okay, some of those indicators, we contributed to the success, so the CDC should take the credit. While others said that look, the Unity Party should take the credit because it was under the Unity Party administration. President Barker went to the US and all of that, the different engagements, and they were able to reach this milestone. The compact is now coming finally. But in the midst of the different arguments, the minister today called on Liberians to see this as a win for Liberia, to put aside political differences, which party won it, which party did not do it, to see this as a win for the country. 500 million. And based on Liberia's performance, there's a possibility that the country can get even more than 500 million, which will then go towards different sectors of the country, improving the different sectors across the country. I mean, this whole debate about the politics of this compact and the argument about the CDC did it. Oh, it was the Unity Party who did it. The Unity Party should take the credit. The CDC should take the credit. Or, and also coming to the finance minister's message that in fact it's Liberia that won, and it should be about Liberia. Everybody should put aside their political, differences and embrace this as a win for Liberia. I mean, is it possible to disassociate the politics with this? Is it possible for this compact to bring every Liberian together regardless of political differences? I mean, yes, we know the process is being rolled out, recruitment, everything is starting. There's a high power delegation in the country right now visiting. They're doing all the different assessments and all of that. But is there any reason why there shouldn't be the CDC versus Unity Party argument about this compact? I mean, given where we stand now, have the country reconciled to the point where there will be nothing such as, oh, we from the CDC, we did the work, we should take the credit. We from the Unity Party, we did the work, we take the credit. I mean, I want us to start the conversation from here. And maybe, Ture, you can take off from here since, in fact, you are the last person to end up on the previous conversation. You are muted, Ture.
Yeah, so basically, there's the thing. If we should all subscribe to the idea that government is continuity and buy into that and key onto that, then obviously where we are today as a country, we won't be, you know what I mean, like, subjecting ourselves to such grant. Just look at the whole rationale behind this. This is a poverty reduction economic stimulator, right? The US gave these things around for countries, but for how many decades, how many years, for a country like Liberia will continue to literally sit for this every time, right? What are we doing with the many grants that were handed to us in previous years, right? I think we need to ask these questions. But to not deviate from your question, Nelson, what if CDC did the work, or Unity Party is taking the glory for it? That's what we say. Government is continuity. But the bigger question is, what led to the US finally granting this amount? Because the last time the CDC were in power, there was nothing around $500 million coming from the US to CC the job we are. You know what I mean? Or to President we are. Sorry to say. I think there is some level of respectability that the US see in this government. There's some level of maturity that the US see in this government, and they actually buying some of the procedures that this government continue to put in place. Even though I'm absolutely, like against some of the proceedings that this government have actually engaged in. But nevertheless, maybe they are doing something that they are now unveiling to us to be able to know exactly what they are into. But to have that level of dedication that I saw in the country from the US, that definitely gave me some insight that there's something that they are doing right over there. You know, I mean, like I said, man, government is such you know, I don't want to use my famous saying that it's a little bit convoluted sometimes. You know what I mean? If you're not really getting, you know, especially if you're not in there, it's easier to be outside to critique it than being inside to actually know exactly what is going on. But nevertheless, my criticism of this government is always based on public relation, you know what I mean, like PR and stuff like that. Because I feel like if you have the information, you're not giving it out, and you give the people room to speculate, and they could spin narrative to anyhow, because you are not giving them the real story. So they will speculate, they will get their own story. And you know, journalists like Nelson and talk show hosts like Nelson, they also stimulate whatever they can do to fetch it to the people.
You know, Ture, just before moving to sending next on this issue, do you see the possibility of this thing about Liberia has won? It's a win for Liberia, taking away this whole argument about who should take the credit. Do you see the possibility of this compact uniting us as a country?
Well, Nelson, look, I see that picture, and I see, like I said, I'll talk about respectability, right? And Cindy and everybody on this platform can actually, you know, attest to that. Let me tell you, Nelson, when you put certain people in a room, right? Like a Gafon come with a lot of respect. Gafon come with a lot of, you know what I mean, international recognition and stuff like that. When you put these people in position in government, I mean, and not to actually like, you know, throw or wrench into CDC or something like that, but I mean, like people like Gafon that come with that international recognition, this guy in where Uganda or wherever he was. I mean, working with the war, whatever stuff like that, like that come with certain level of recognition on the international stage. And when you make that kind of man your finance minister, he bringing with him that morale, he bringing with him that international connection. And these guys, they are all buddies, they know each other, man. I'm pretty sure if you go deep down, you'll see Gafam have taken a couple of courses with somebody that in that group, you know, of individuals. So that's how international networking come to play. So that's why when you saw Ellen Johnson leave, even though going to that all the money that she got, you know what I mean, she got that through some people that she knew back in the day when she went to school. Some of these people, and some of these people were in key international position and stuff like that, connecting with her and doing something and opening door and stuff like that. It works. That's what we talk about, people expanding on their network. You do that thing, brother, it can work some time. You know what I mean? It's not what you have, but what your connection are with people in power and people in high institutions. They can really make things happen. And when you are Mela Gafon, who been finance minister in Liberia of the Republic, did a very good job there, connected his network across on international stage. I mean, that comes with certain level of respectability, and that's what we are seeing. What are they going to do well with the funds? That remains to be seen, because apparently Liberia have never done anything good with any money that they have gotten, no matter what they amount.
My man, you said it once for it again.
Just to the point Ture made before going to Sandy. Yes, I took onto that when you said this grant sort of stimulates, you know, what the whole developmental drive and everything should be. So you take, for example, the electricity sector. The last time I attended a media engagement under the previous compact at the time, on the Morning Captain was the head, you know, they had this five years plan, and every step along the way they will update the public through the media with respect to where they are and all of that. And one thing I captured from one of those engagements was that they gave me the 500 million. It's not a money sitting in bank that they will just put in government hand, put in your budget. No. Periodically, they will support the government will identify sectors, or they will identify sector whichever way, and they will channel this money through those different sectors. But they don't even just give the money like that. Government has her responsibility. So if you say, for example, the electricity sector, you want to revamp the electricity sector, you want to upgrade the current dam we have, you want to upgrade the road infrastructure and all of those different things. Okay, so for this sector, we're going to put this amount upfront. Maybe we're going to put 40 million upfront for this sector, this particular segment of the work you want to do. Government, because we are putting this amount, doesn't mean you should sit back. You have a share of this, a certain amount that you're supposed to bring forward before we can take the step we're supposed to take. And that's where most times the problem was with the previous compact we had. The people will make available sometimes 80 million for certain projects. And of that 80 million, they say, okay, government of Liberia, make available 10 million, or just make available 5 million. And sometimes to make the 5 million available will be a whole process to the point where the partners will get weak, and they don't give this money to the government of Liberia. No. They have their systems through which they get to support the different sectors and all of that. And that's why it's very important. But Cindy, you want to come in on this conversation, unless if Ture wanted to lean in on anything, then we can get you to come in, Cindy.
Yeah, I mean, like 10 seconds. Like you referenced it, and Nelson, these are money that are not just, they're not just going to take the money and just draw it out of the bank and just go set it to the government and say, hey, yeah, you're absolutely right? Let's say, where do you need, or where they actually see the most needs, right? Electricity, okay, let's allocate there. But then how much can you generate? Because look, the government of America, they don't want countries to be so dependent, right? And they don't want to see people suffering, right? So these aids just go there to help you get to, if you're already to B, they want to get you to A, right? That's the whole idea of this. But I mean, it's just something, man.
Thank you, Ture. Cindy, you want to come up on coming on this?
Nelson, look, when a country is being recognized for achieving some milestone, the entire country wins. It does not matter whether one administration was in power and it led to that, and the other administration came up and took on that. This is about Liberia. Now, in 2021 January, when we completed our first MCC compact and we were granted 257 million, which helped to rehabilitate the Mankofi hydropower. That was Liberia that won. It wasn't any political party, right? Now, we are in another phase now. This compact is the 2024 fiscal year, where Liberia is making significant progress. In fact, this time we passed 14 out of the 20 indicators of the MCC compact. So 2024, who was in power? I mean, that's President Boakai. We can say that some of the indicators were measured maybe, with some strain coming from the previous administration, but this is the 2024 fiscal year. But the bottom line here is that the country is being recognized for some progress in the right direction. So the country wins. But here is what I want to take. I want to come in on this one here. Look, this is like a child. Your child do something good in your house and you hand them some candy as a reward. That's what this is. Really. This is not something that we should be fighting as a country. Somewhere, the US government or some entity established this measure and say, you, African country, you too poor. Go, when you do this thing, we'll reward you with some money. These same people are extracting your resources.
Sandy, somebody just sent a message. They say the way you thought you too poor is irritating, man.
No, that's how it is, Nelson. That's how it is. That's how it is. Go. They want to let monitor how you treat your people. Let monitor how you run your government. Let monitor how you set in place your policies, your human rights. Let monitor how you do your inflation. When you pass these things, we'll reward you with something. You only do that to poor country. Have you heard China have compact, MCC compact? Have you heard any serious country have MCC compact? Rwanda don't partake in this MCC compact. Do you know that? They're not waiting for that $500+ million a year to develop their country. They are not waiting for that. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but for us as a country to start fighting, oh, that CDC do this, that UP do this, because we are being rewarded, we're giving token for taking care of our own people, for doing the right thing for our own people. They want to fight over that. Nelson, I want to draw the Liberian people attention to the 14 that we passed. The 14 that we passed: fiscal policy, inflation, political rights, civil liberty, control of corruption. Adapt that one. I don't know who measured that one. Trade policy, rule of law. Okay. Freedom of information, gender in the economy.
No. In fact, Sandy, let's do this. Let me see if it's possible to get this. Oh no, it's not possible. I wanted to get it up. For the sake of our audience, but it's not just coming through. But go ahead. I'm gonna see how.
Land rights and assets. That means the people not reselling people land anymore. Let's move on. Health expedition, access to credit. Access to credit, really? Nelson, you can go to the bank today and get credit loans, really? Or employment opportunity where? In Liberia? I mean, employment opportunities in Liberia. Then they say the last one is immunization rates. But that's one of the things we fail, Nelson. One of the things we fail. And I'm not going to read all. We fail regulatory quality. We fail government effectiveness. That means our government is not effective. We fail natural resources protection. This is a big one.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
We fail girls' primary education completion rate, and we fail child health. But let's go back to natural resources.
I believe that.
You fail natural resources protection. If you were protecting your natural resources,
you won't need compass.
You won't need the $500+ million coming from MCC. If you are managing your natural resources right, and people are not coming to exploit them, take them away overnight, go to the western clusters where your iron ores are being dug every time. Your golds and diamonds are being stolen. Your timber, your rubbers are being taken out of your country. Everything being taken from Liberia. Natural resources protection, you fail.
That's as slurry.
Yeah, it's not clear, but go ahead.
You fail that as a country. Then you are celebrating. So you may not even get the 500 million. You're probably going to get maybe around 250 million, like what they gave you the last time. Let us
but sorry. This compact is from 350 million to 500 million. There's a possibility that based on performance, we could get even a little over 500 million. Based on performance, according to the finance minister, we could get below the 350 million.
Nelson, get the entire 500+ million. Get it. What I'm asking you to do, what I'm asking our government to do, protect your natural resources. You failed it. That's a big one for me. Let the Liberian people natural resources benefit them. Rwanda is not waiting for that 550 million to develop their country. In fact, they are not participating. Their country is still being developed. Let us not wait for America to say, oh, You have done well. Good job. Let's more candy here. Then the children in the house fighting over who did the work, who hauled the water, who cleaned the house, who's supposed to get the candy. CDC here say that we the one did it. UP say, oh, that us did it. But if we all have come together, if we have strategized, if we are innovative, if we are patriotic, and we can manage our natural resources, protect them to benefit the Liberian people,
Thank you.
that 550 million will just be a piece of cake. We won't even have to fight over it.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Cindy. I want us to take more back on this. Then we're going to take Amy, and Dr. J will take us to the phone lines.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. Look, first of all, let me just say this. That's why we keep talking about divisive politics in Liberia. You see the seditions, they all like everything when you open Facebook, oh, that we don't want fight for it. But they're forgetting to know that Liberia, if we haven't to win this identical in probably the fund, because first of all, the government got to come up with our own proposal. All the area that probably affected and stuff, like we listed water and soil, road construction, feeder road, electricity, all school, healthcare. They got to come with it. And the MCC will come with our own proposal. Okay, we can do this, we'll do that, we'll do the one, all the one and thing. But if we win, if the government win, all Liberian win. They're not party, they're not United Party win, they're not CDC win. So I think the whole political issue, sometimes I would just put it aside and focus on the main issue. The main issue, our agenda should be Liberia first. Everyone who living in Liberia should have a better life. Whether you from CDC, you from United Party, you from ANC, we don't care. All we care is Liberia. Everybody won. So another day, sedition now. Why? I expect somebody coming up with that type of happy, but they claiming credit to that, and they forgetting to know they were there for 5 years. Right? 5 years, almost 6 years, because in the last year our campaign, all that thing. Why they never, why they never granted that money? Why? So we shouldn't come back and politicize everything, every good thing about Liberia. All we need to do, let us pray the government succeed. And in succeeding, the Liberian people need to be involved. What they preach out, what they say. People can go, you lie on government, you say government do that one, government do that one. Because you know that when it happens, this government will get the credit, and you're thinking about 2029. That what we call self-centered. They put it themselves in front more than the Liberian people. And it's not right. If the government win, everybody win. So we all need to pray for this government. So how much we all praying for the government to win this money. We happy. We wanted to get it. 500 million, not a small money. It can settle healthcare. It can settle schools. It can go to roads. It can help electricity. I understand my brother saying every time you thought you made a reference on Rwanda. We agree. Rwanda, they one man changed everything. Then now the other person can know. That man saying Ben, I think nothing, something he stayed there, nothing not to say or something. He stayed there, right? And what he did, no other president, the poor what can do it. Nobody. So we shouldn't be comparing men who spent decades and people who some of them spend 6 years. I agree. 6 years you can make a change, but gradually. You can just go there and say you want to do it. No. You understand? So nursing, we all praying, we all want for the government to win our money and ensure we pray our government too should go and by the rule of law, should obey the rule of law, should focus on human rights violation, all that stuff. They shouldn't violate human rights, all that stuff. Let them focus on the right thing so we can get this money. And so our healthcare for every Liberian, that when you go to JFK, you get equipment there to take care of you. When you go to school, you get armchair, you get computer lab, and you get a decent building. So we shouldn't put it aside there, and then we focus on the right thing for all Liberians.
Nelson, you're talking to yourself.
No, sorry, guys. Emmy, you want to come in? Then Dr. J will take us to the phone lines.
Just a little bit now, Sam. I'm not going to take long. because everybody said, I mean, what needed to be said already. But just a little, little, should I say, advice or whatever to leadership and our people in Liberia, not just leaders, us, all of us as Liberians, you know, celebrating, like Cindy said, 500 million compass. That's chicken change, right? Compared to what we have in our country. What we need to win this uh, uh, treasure in our country, or billions of dollars that we have in our countries, is patriotic Liberians. That's what we need to love our country, to care for our country, to care about our people, the land, and not just you and your family. Care about Liberia, care for Liberia. Just look, this is what I said to someone. I said, I live in the US for all this time and I know Liberia is right here in my chest, right? I got a country at heart. But anyway, so I got Liberia at heart, like they said. My own is right there. It's not the skin heart, that other people got and they can't destroy it. But
So who had
imagine,
the country at heart and came and
don't put
destroyed?
me in your chicha
So,
pole.
I'm trying to be political with this whole thing because
Don't put me in your chicha pole.
I mean,
I know they said somebody had a country at heart, but when you can't, I don't know the country when we play. I don't know, but don't put me in your chicha pole. Let me talk my thing. You
The
tell your
country
own, let me
lost.
talk my own. So yeah, on a serious note, right? If and then I mean, I don't want to be personal. It's just I'm just setting an example. People, don't beat me up here, okay? You make me. I live in a country. I know how this country runs. I know how they work. I know how the people love that country. They're not perfect. Nobody should tell you that America is a perfect country, but they love that country. They love they love to do right by their people. When a company is running, they got all these things put in place, laws and how to treat the people, labor laws, and all of that, right? I know how this country runs, and I live here almost all of my life. You don't. If I was to be a leader, let's say a president in Liberia, and then I see that, and I live in that, and I enjoyed it, and then something, and I go to Liberia, and just think about me and my family, and I think about and allow American companies and other countries from Western world to just come into Liberia and just do whatever they want. And then I say this, I love my country. That is a shame. First of all, I would be letting you know how you run a business in your country. You're not gonna treat my people. I admire this 36 or 35-year-old boy from not boy, man from Burkina Faso. That is love for country. Okay. And then even Sandy Pharaoh country, Rwanda, what the guy name? The president name?
Paul Kagame.
Paul Kagame. Those are the kind of dictatorship I like. Do right by the people. Be a dictator on the politicians. That's what I like. And let you care for your country, build your country, and put your country first. I would want people to go to Liberia, and people who have money in Liberia to stay in Liberia and enjoy and live a good life, not to take the money out of the country and go to the Western world or in other people's countries and enjoy it. And I come from there and I say I'm a rich person, but I'm a Liberian. But then my country look like the biggest village on that part of the world. I mean, you would not, when we have love for our country and protect like our resources and stuff, we would not need to be fighting for this. Liberia would be great for all Liberians, and that's what we need to be fighting for instead of fighting all Millennium Challenge or MCC, whatever it is.
Well, it's like you are fighting to get your breakfast. Breakfast is not even ready yet. It's not coming correct. Somebody came in and said, look, you're struggling to get breakfast. At least to talk about lunch. Dinner by not in the picture yet. But will help to make your breakfast to be coming on time. And at least your lunch, it will come some kind of way. And then we say, no, Other people eating 3 times a day. Then you want to tell me that breakfast, what is breakfast, what is lunch? But come to think about it, guys. Where are we at the moment? Yes, I understand Liberia has all the resources. Yeah, Liberia got this, all the things that are still on the ground. The one we discover here, we got all I wanted. But where are we at the moment? Should we celebrate the compact, or I'm trying. Cindy, I know you want to come in, but I think we should get Dr. J to come in quickly.
You
Let's
got
get
breakfast. But only one person eating a breakfast. That's why you celebrating something.
Yeah, so Nelson, I think it is necessary to celebrate the compact. I don't want to focus on the politics because everybody looking at 2029. CDC want to claim something to say, you know what? Even though you got this, but we started the process, and it's true they started the process. It's almost like when you applying for college admission, right? You go through the process, you apply, you get in the program of interest, you start to celebrate, but it doesn't mean you graduate. That's what happened in Liberia. We were successful to be part of those that are eligible. We still have to do other things to be successful in getting the MCC compact completed. Now, with country like Liberia, we use almost 80% of our national budget on paying civil servants and government officials and buying government logistics like vehicles and stuff. The 500 million is very significant to other sectors, to empower other sectors, to start the economy. That is a significant boost for our country. We should accept that, and we should work to getting out of the 500 million, not even 350 million. We should strive to get out of it. I would be very happy if we get out of it. But there's the thing. I want to look at the MCC compact and focus on 2 specific areas that Liberia did not pass that is very significant. Now, everybody, I don't want to talk about natural resources because everybody already discussed that. But the issue of child health, we feel that the reason I want to specify and focus on that is because I'm in the health area. And I know how health is very important. Now, for every child that died, it reduced the life expectancy rate. I was in Liberia in May of last year, after being here for almost 16, 17 years. I went to GFK, sir. You see the number of people that die from common diseases that can be killed. And we're talking about child health here. Every kid that suffers from any other diseases and dies from it, we increase the morbidity and the mortality rate in our country. We increasing the death rate in our country. So that's very significant for the government to focus on. But if you have the health ministry paying nurses $150 and politicians getting $9,000 US, you cannot easily close that gap. Because when it comes to healthcare, there are a lot of malpractices. You have to set regulations and policies that are going to close that gap. So specifically to that area, Liberia is very delinquent. And I think focusing on the next MCC compact, we should spend significant amount of our time in the health area, especially for young kids and women health. It's very significant. Another one is government effectiveness. We cannot have an effective government when we put all of our significant efforts only on the executive branch of government. When you make the judiciary spineless, you turn around, you make the legislative spineless, and all of the predictions or ideas that comes from the executive is being followed, you're not going to run an effective government. Because these 3 entities, these 3 branches of government should be independent and specific. And these are very important part of the MCC compact that Liberia should try to pass. The issue of rule of law, I doubt it, but they say we passed it. I don't know how we passed it. But I doubt that we pass rule of law because rule of law, unless it's specific to something special, in Liberia is one of the largest countries. When I visited Liberia, I took an African American friend. I've never been to Africa. And when he entered Liberia, we drove. As soon as we get off the airport, the first thing he told me, he said, Jeremiah, your country is lawless. So I'm telling you, I don't know how we pass rule of law, but that's something I also have to focus on. So the issue of the MCC compact is a good news for the country. We should not political start say Liberia win at this point. Because looking at the infrastructure and the kind of development we have to do in Liberia, having 500 million I hope they don't spend that paying civil servant and going in politicians' pockets. If they can develop some of these necessary entities, like getting 24-hour electricity, having water supply, that will help a lot than going in politician pocket. So thank you. That's what I have to say.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, Ture, you want to come in just quickly before we go to the phone lines?
Yeah, and Nelson, just to piggyback off of what the brother was talking about. I mean, look, there are so many areas that needs help, right? And a lot of time we don't even really invest in government efficiency, right? And that is such a key area, bro, because it doesn't matter how much money you can put in a system. If people managing that money are not effective, brother, you just putting, like resources in areas that are not going to give you any returns. And that's what we'll be doing in that country, right? How many helps have Liberia gotten, bro? I mean, we've been getting handout for everywhere. And Amy literally just came up with this young man named Ibrahima Traoré of Burkina Faso. Any country that does not have significant control over its God-given natural resources, right? There where the cash is, bro. There where the cash is. If you cannot capitalize on your God-given natural resources, where foreigner can just come and literally loot it, in the eyes of government, people that are supposed to manage these things, people that are supposed to be watching these things, the people taking these things out of your country, but
Thank
yet destroying your rules, all by the way, right? Destroying all your rules. Why doing it? And nothing is coming out of it, bro. That's where the problem is. We need to get government efficiency working and put people in position. I understand what they are doing.
Thanks a lot. All the indicators you see in red are the ones that Liberia failed, and the ones in green are the ones that we passed. The different indicators there. But I think we have to go to the phone lines and take some calls now. I see a lot of people trying to call in 0555-101075. You can call the WhatsApp number there on the screen, and you'll be live on the program. Let's see if we can take this person. Hello, your name and where you joining us from? Sorry.
Panelist on the set.
Hello.
Good morning. You getting me?
Yes, you are live. Let's hear you.
All right. My name is Josiah Small for me from the Congo Peace Island.
Go ahead, 540.
Let me say thank God that we are kind of the land of the living. We're all panelists on the set. Let me say thanks for the discussion when it comes to the compact. Like I just read a post from the finance minister and have followed a press conference last time. No, they've called me. This compact, they have never ruled out the effort of previous government. He has always recognized the effort of the previous government for the inventions they made for the part they played that today that led us to be eligible for the compact. And he said this compact should be used by every Liberian to unite us. It is true. But politicians come out, we didn't want that. Me, Josiah, nobody can want to go. Liberia has won. What we need to do, we should tell our partners, the American for the money coming give us. Let it be very strong supervision because we are not fiscal discipline, financial discipline due to high corruption. Liberia example. That one I don't want to agree with anybody on this idea.
Okay, thank you. I want to hold you there. We are out of time. Guys, let's stick within the time. Let's try to make our points as brief as we can so that we can just do it in the time. Hello, your name and where you call from?
Oh, thank you very much. My name is Chokon Mongai and I'm speaking to you from Minnesota. And I also want to notify you that I'm associated with the Congress for Democratic Change. So the brother Ture said that he doesn't in any way believe that the United Party betray Senator Prince Johnson. And I just want to remind him that there's something called psychological contract. And in psychology, it is an informal agreement between two persons. It doesn't have to be written down on paper.
So gentlemen agreement could be psychological contract too, right?
Oh, that could be considered psychological contract. And I'm appealing to you, my brother. Please give me at least a minute so I can just be able to go ahead with this point, please.
Yeah, just do for the 5 seconds because we have a lot of people on the line.
Thank you. Yep, and I hope you won't interject. So with this, if you look at the two parties' interests, you know that Senator Prince Johnson didn't want to go to the War Crime Court, and the United Party wanted power. So he was able to provide them the political dividend to get power in exchange of him being prevented from going to the War Crime Court. But like the CDC and Ailing, the United Party was in the process of sending him over. And another thing was that my sister Amy said something about someone who have love of the country and they didn't deliver. I think based on that statement, her understanding of Liberian politics is a bit upside down. Because if you understand the political configuration of Liberia, you understand that although there were some excesses under the leadership of President Weah, like any other president, but there were some key elements in his leadership that shows anyone that President Weah was someone who had an actual intention, and based on some of his implementation, you can tell that if he was going to be given a second term, he could have done a whole lot. Okay. Number one, I'm just going to talk about two sectors, the education sector and the healthcare sector. So if you look at the education sector in Liberia, the major problem we have in Liberia right now with the education sector is the issue about teachers' quality, their time in class, and this issue about bribery, where students in 6th grade are being introduced to bribery. And one thing you guys are not taking into consideration is that if students in 4th grade, 5th grade will be asked for money so that we can give them better grades, we are introducing them to corruption. Those people, when they get into government.
Thank you. Chokon, we look forward to. We reach out. We're gonna bring you on the show. Just reach out. We can get you. Yeah, Chokon. But once you get there's limited time. So guys, let's just get done with the calls, then we're gonna come back to take Hello, your name and where you call from quickly.
Good morning. My name is Abu Dagosa. I'm calling for Thailand.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much this morning for having me on your platform. But what I want to say here is what is happening in our country is the politician that damaging our country. And we need to put our country first. Because you cannot get lawmaker making 1,000 plus, then our people are suffering. Our people are suffering.
Okay.
And then we put about, and I heard someone was on the line talking about him identifying himself. As for me, I'm a neutral person. Okay? So we need to put all political differences and focus our country. When the government in power do well today, then tomorrow another opposition will say this and this and that.
Thank you.
We need to keep focus.
Thank you. I want to hold you there. Thanks a lot. Keep focus. We hold you there and take the last caller from the WhatsApp line. Then we take two more from the local line. Hello, Mr. Birthday Noah. You're live on the show. Welcome, sir.
Okay, Nelson. Thank you very much for welcoming me. I'm not going to talk about the other rest of what you and your panel are discussing, but I'm going to talk about my godfather, the late President Senator.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know whether Nepalians know or Liberians know Prince Johnson. In the 90s, Nelson, in the 90s, Prince Johnson said, I'm quoting directly from him. You will not die by any man bullet, or no blade will touch him. You will die natural death. 2 ways Prince Johnson said he was going to die. He said, and I'm quoting him directly, he will lay down on his comfortable bed, and in the morning, the news will come and say Prince Johnson died. That's 1. 2, Prince Johnson said, I will get up from out of my bed and walk into the bathroom. While coming from the bathroom, I will drop and die. That's the day that God served for me to die. I see politicians. Can we ask our very self whether he has problems, whether he has health conditions?
Okay.
What really happened to him? It is the will that man said he's going to die. When bullet touch Prince Johnson, it's complete.
Thank you.
Prince Johnson said this will be the last bullet touching me.
Thank you.
Sometimes you can give people long time.
Yeah,
Thank you
you
very
know,
much.
yeah, that in 1980, you
We'll
know,
bring
it's
on the show to explain 1980.
but then we appreciate you.
1990, I don't say
Oh yeah,
1980.
1990, yeah, 1990.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that
Thank
is
you.
that,
Sometimes we'll get back home, we'll go on the radio and
yeah.
nameless that Prince Johnson did not die by
Okay. No, but the link is always available. Once you can come on the show, it'll be fine. The link is,
I will
yeah.
come on.
All right.
They're not always here, right?
Yeah, the last time you joined.
Thank you.
The last time you joined.
Yeah.
Let's
Nelson, don't give him long time.
take the last two calls from the local lines. Hello.
Nelson, the Papa trying to buy time. You stopping.
Hello, I
Yeah,
am
you're trying to
Dr.
buy time.
Abraham,
Hello.
speaking from my bridge.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear you, sir.
I'm Dr. Abraham Williams. Sorry, I have a cold. Speaking from Bromines Bridge.
Okay.
Number one is in this scientific age, we don't even have what we call a drone survey, where the quality and quantity of our mineral and natural resources are determined by us. And we know them. We know where they are. We are not even good for that. How are you asking investors to come and tell you what you have when the aim of every investor is to maximize profit? If you have 20, they will say you have 8. Then all of the other ones, the other 12, is for them free. That is number one. Number two, this Millennium Challenge compact that we are so boasting of. That's why Rwanda and others don't share with them. Most of what we generate locally in terms of mineral resources and others, we consume through corruption. Our ministers will run a patronage system. I've written about that one extensively. A patronage system that profits only the ministers, the presidency, the top government officials. Those others are working for free, policemen,
Okay,
and others. So we need to fight this corruption and be able to manage our resources properly. Otherwise, we go nowhere. They will be giving us pittances and our own resources that we have instead of managing them properly. In this day and age, when people are adding value to their resources so that it can lead to employment, so that it can lead to transfer of technology by our investors, we are still able to extract our primary resources and carry them. Why don't we have some principles that we lay before our investors?
I want to hold you there. I want to hold you there, sir. We are seriously out of time. Yeah, thanks a whole lot, sir. We appreciate your contribution tonight. Let's take the final caller here. Hello, quickly, can we hear you?
How are you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Sash Menti calling from Carwell.
From Carwell?
Yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead quickly.
Yeah, Nelson, thank you so much. I've been following your show, and what I want to say is, seriously, the decision they want us to face, so we'll get ground for 2029, and I would like to tell them, if they think we can divide Nimba, we're waiting for the 2029.
Okay.
So they think we're not good enough to provide or to produce our own president that CDC will defer to can divide us. We're waiting for them.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me just squeeze this final person in. Hello? Hello? From this line, hello, can you hear me? Okay, no, we lost that. Okay, so we can come back now to do our closing.
Yes, can you start from me? My phone about to go off, man.
But why you charge your phone?
No, I went somewhere. As soon as I can scratch, I get on it.
So, but why you came from somewhere and you plugged the phone charge?
But that's an important meeting with some investors.
You went to engage with investors. George, we don't say that.
You mad, George? Don't mad, George.
Do your closing more, but then we're gonna go around the table.
Yeah. Look. First of all, the caller who just left the line, he make a good point. There was no autopsy done on the former senator. There was no report that he died of a heart attack. People just make their own stories and and carry on. And now it all is circulating on social media, on radio platform, everything people saying what they want to say. But we're not, we're not going to that because now if you ask them one or two questions, there was any report from the hospital, they will not tell you to scratch your head. And let me say this: Liberians, we are one. We don't have to keep we don't have to keep every time we come we talk they want diversity in politics, sedition, we are sharing, you pace, all the things that are it's not necessary. We are one Liberians. Let us focus on the main thing, at least to help the entire nation, not one group of people. Now somebody will go take money, they just sit down, they build their houses, they get our businesses going from right in government cover and they enjoy themselves. Then you're there behind the munya, end of the day, your children don't even have school fee to go to school. But you got a big they get thrown out you have for whole, they'll go see munya. But they were there, they never create job for you. But they will call you, they say, can't go do munya. Then you get up, you go there. Liberians, we gotta be wise. We in 2025. We in the 21st century. We gotta understand how these things work around the world. This time around, people are not putting themselves on the line to go kill themselves a politician. All you need to do, if you feel disenchanted in your government, and you take a placard, stand up and express yourself through the placard, express yourself, the media will come there and your concern will be, will be heard by the government. But don't put yourself on the street to say you're going for it. People say go do the one, you go do it. People say, well, you just causing chaos because of one person enjoyment. But you never see that tyranny and models and more. They out of the country, they enjoying themselves, they doing whatever they want to do. My last closing, I may conclude on this. Liberians, let us focus. And we all happy. Let compass there, we will win it. And Liberia will elevate in different sectors. Thank you. I mean, you can take over.
So, Cindy.
What you laughing about?
I said so. Joe, who you meet at?
Sorry. Look, I am not against Liberia receiving money from MCC. That's not my position. What I try to outline here is that we are fighting over peanuts instead of coming together as a country to utilize the resources we have, protect them, manage them well, so that Liberia can gain more. And that's one of the areas we fail for the compact. Our natural resources protection, we failed at. What that tells us is that we are not protecting what will give us more. Instead, we are allowing other people to carry it, take it out of our country. They go and make millions of dollars. And we are just watching them taking away our natural resources. Your major mountains are being mined. You are losing them. Yep. Your iron ores are going. The diamonds and the gold are gone. Your timbers are going from behind your backyard. When President Weah came to power, we discovered that his brother-in-law, Duncan, was given a whole section in the southeast to mine.
Absolutely.
Nobody knows what happened with that money. It doesn't start with President Weah. It doesn't stop with President Weah. We know that even right now, the Western cluster is still ongoing. Mm-hmm. And our people are being affected. They are being used, but they are not benefiting from their natural resources. Let me share with you something that most of you don't know. In the U.S. here, there are certain things they call national parks, like the Grand Canyon Park, like the Sandia Mountain where I live. Many of these U.S. national parks contain vast deposits of minerals and natural resources. Do you know why they don't use them? Why they call them national parks? They protect them. They protect them. There's a park right here, not far from my house. It's called the Black Sand Park, filled with black minerals. You can only go there and walk. It's a trail. You just go there and climb the mountain and walk. Those minerals are being deposited and saved for generations to come. Grand Canyon filled with minerals untouched. That's what a lot of these countries do. They reserve those, then they come to your backyard.
Yep.
They come to your backyard and take yours.
Don't finish your own.
Then they come back and say, we'll give you 250 million, 500 million. Then you start to celebrate. Do you know how much Firestone was taken from Liberia? I have a car that have a 4 tire on it right now. They are all Firestones. Every time I look at those tires, I'll be thinking about Liberia. They coming from my backyard. Seriously.
Every time I see the Firestone,
every time I look at the tires on my car, I say, they're coming from that place.
Even a commercial, Sandy, the commercial on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when we are saying these things, it's not like we are not embracing what you're getting, but we know that you are getting less than what you deserve. My brother Nelson said, oh, the person not eating breakfast. They say, we're giving you breakfast. Then you say, no, I want you to eat 3 times a day. Nelson, with the natural resources.
Cindy, your time is up. Cindy, in fact, guys, can you hear Cindy?
My time is not off. No, with the natural resources you have, Nelson, as a nation, trust me, if we come together as a country, leave the politics a little. Let's be patriotic. Let's love Liberia. No child will go without eating 3 to 4 times in a day if we really protect the natural resources we have. We have a lot. Nelson, we only have 5 million people in a country that is filled with resources. Rainforest. But we are not utilizing it. Few of our government officials sat along with those people to steal from you. They ride the big cars. They have the big houses. Then they use us, the youth, to sing political songs for them.
20 seconds.
To campaign for them. So they can give us $10, $100 here. And those people allow your natural resources to be extracted. Now, let me end on this. I look at the countries that were granted this year for that MCC. Liberia, Senegal, the Gambia, Cape Verde. Look at those countries. Do you hear Ghana? Do you hear Nigeria? Do you hear Cote d'Ivoire? Those countries are doing well. Then I've researched part of it. I said, but why these other countries are not part of it? And it says that MCC focus on low-income countries. Liberia should rise above this low-income thing. Let's come together as a country. Let's love Liberia. Let's utilize our resources wisely. Then someone out there will not just see us as a low-income country. We will not be at the bottom of the line. We have so much that when we protect well, generations to come will benefit from. Thank you, Nelson.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you.
Yeah, so it was a nice show. I'm glad I stayed on today and completed the show. Because by now I'll be on the clock. But on a realistic note, one of the problems is that our country needs to be united on all fronts. I say this because we seen from the Prince Johnson funeral. I'm hearing myself. Hello. So we seen from the Prince Johnson funeral, the divisiveness in the politics. Everybody was trying to show their communication with Prince Johnson, their alliance with Prince Johnson, who Prince Johnson was, and some of them were speaking on the 2 different lips. And you can easily see that the country is divided. The fact that on a statement funeral, you have seditions assembled with berets. It was in the regalia and was chanting, "We sorry, we betray you." It was chanting to the political leader George Weah. I don't think that occasion was the appropriate place for us to carry political maneuvering and wearing berets and all those kind of things. But again, CDC is one of the biggest problem in Liberia, the CDC political party. When I say that, CDC get mad. Because at what point are we going to transition to really intellectualizing our politics and just being too militancy and all that kind of stuff? And seeing our country as the eighth poorest country in the world, we just know that we are part of those that we have to apply and qualify for the MCC compact. Country like Ghana, they have been doing significantly well. And that's thing I think we Liberians have to be very jealous about. Our little brothers are doing extremely well. Ghana gained independence in 1960. You 1847 is still trailing behind them and celebrating of 500 million. If you give Ghana of 500 million, now they will laugh. Because they will just spend that on one tourist center and that will be done. They really don't need it. These people talking about national budget of billions and billions of dollars every year to run the economy, and we get 500 million, and we're arguing who government brought the compound, we didn't brought the compound, all the kind of stuff is unnecessary. And politics divide us a lot. That's one of the issues. And before I rest, I want to say something about the MCC compound. I want to go back to my point. Liberia right now, I know we're talking about natural resources protection. It's true to protect the natural resources. But in the absence of proper knowledge, if you bring anybody out of the country to actually look at your mineral, they will exploit from that. They will exploit from that country. Liberia has some of the minerals in the world that we have not exploited yet. If you look at Liberia number of professions, how many Liberian professionals are geochemists? Geochemists. You will not come to the Liberians all over the world are geochemists that will go into the mountain and take minerals and test the mineral and tell you this mineral can be used for this purpose. All we know that the few things we see iron ore, timbers, gold, diamonds, and that's all. There are more minerals like copper, magnesium you can find in the forest and in the mountains that we have never explored as a country. So that is going to be difficult for the government who don't even know how to run their own operandies. It's going to be very difficult for them to actually focus on that area and do well. But the easier area we can focus on and do well is area of healthcare. And we can't even do well in healthcare. Some of the things in healthcare we can do, we can privatize our health sector. Like, why would somebody go to JFK and they don't have medications? It don't make sense to me. There's a whole country. The hospital should never run out of medications.
Thank you.
Next, my time finish.
Okay, 20 seconds to conclude.
So, health is very, very important. And last day in my 20 seconds, girls' education. We can't overemphasize that. Female educations. You know, it's surprising that you're going to see a girl between the age of 12 to 18 years selling in the street during the time they should be in school. Our teachers are harassing our girls to give them money for grades. If our girls don't have proper education, they cannot contribute to the economic infrastructure. So we have a very good discussion tonight, my brother, and I want to say thank you for having me on the show. And I'll wait for another show next tomorrow or sometime. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Ture.
Yeah. So basically, look, guys, there's the thing, right? I feel like we keep beating on their horse. Liberia, we are a country. You know, obviously, the love that we have a country cannot be denied. I feel like we genuinely love our country, but when we are put in position, right, to deliver that genuine love that we have our country, we cannot center that for self-aggrandizement. And I'm not going to generalize it because I've seen a lot of people, some of them are come to this state campaign. You know, we have come vice for some of them, raise funds for some of them. And then they get there, guess what? They get drawn by the swamp. That's what got there. I don't want to sound like, you know, President Trump, but that's exactly what it is. There's a swarm there that everybody, they will all be good people talking all the right things. But once they get in position to deliver, bro, they all get captured by that swarm. We don't need to go far, my people. Sandy just literally lay countries that Labrador is far ahead of when it comes to natural resources. Let's look at Burkina Faso. The people don't even have ocean. So meaning ship can't even go there. You know what I mean? This young man was able to raise $4 billion, my man. Because once you take charge of your natural resources, your God-given natural resources, right? You take charge of it. You sit a lid on top of it. Or arms that come out of the country, you know exactly where it's going. Brother, you will get money to develop yourself. There is no amount of money that is too big. There's no amount of money that is so small. When you manage your resources, I don't care what it is, Nelson, called what we call wasteful spending. Liberia is one of the poorest countries in the world because we have not been able to self-regulate. We put money places that is not giving us returns, right? We literally use money for salary and wages. So have we sat down to really regulate ourselves to talk about what are we doing as a country? We're paying all these lawmakers, all these bonuses, like all these things, brother. It's not gonna move us anywhere. We got enough money in that country to take care of everybody in that country. But few people want to sit on it, right? Getting 4, 5, 6 girlfriend in yet, saying that girlfriend in Dubai and Ghana, and you know, you do not know what's going on. Like, bro,
Do you have evidence? Where's the picture?
Man.
Bring the picture.
My man,
you saw one picture I read to the Ben the other day.
Don't you know your own jacket from Australia? But we have evidence.
My man, we all know the show back. We sit on some of these girls in some of these bars, right? They talk. One thing I know about Liberian girls, or they will tell you exactly what's up. And they will tell you how many people they're hooking up with. My man, these are stuff that we know, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's the problem we got. We got patriotic problem. Okay? And until we can really, really look in a big mirror, Nelson, we'll always be showing our hand like this. Give it to us. And any country that subject herself to just hand out, I swear to God, Nelson, even God in heaven, if you read the Bible, somebody who subject themselves just for handout, your whole love will just be in that handout. You will never progress, bro. And that's what we have. We have everything we need. We got very, very aggressive ocean, right? Like, I mean, everywhere, bro. Natural resources everywhere. Tourist centers abundantly wasting everywhere. But funds are not adequately and directed to areas that we need, or that the funds need to be directed to. And even if they get to where they're supposed to go, they are misused or they are not put in proper use. So there we are, bro. The circle is always like this. We dealt with Ellen Johnson Sirleaf for 12 years. Joe, we have 4 years, and we are just in the beginning of President George. We are just in the midst now of President Joseph Numa Bakai. So let's see what's gonna happen, bro. But we say, yeah, my man, we'll come on the show. We'll talk on things. I'm glad that I'm back. You know what I'm saying? And you know, hopefully I'm here to stay for a long time before I go back in my cave. Thank you, bro.
It's good to have you back, brother.
In your rescue corner.
Good to see you. Good to see Amy as well. Good to see everybody, to our viewers as well.
Thank you, Ture. Good to have you back. You know, things have been convoluted, Ture. Ture, have been convoluted. The national issues have gotten Ture convoluted.
My man, to be quite honest, the whole time I was back there, right? I always used to have the urge to come back home. But my man, I get so frustrated. I'm like, what am I even coming to talk about? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just gonna come and just show my rage and people are not gonna like some of this thing I'm gonna say. And the last thing I want, if nothing to say, Toure, calm down.
But Toure, are you still hopeful of Councillor Tiawan Gonglo being president, or are you reconsidering your decision to look out for something else?
My man, look, Nelson, like I said, man, the only person that I see that can liberate this country from the shackle, right, and lead this country to self-determination, it has to be a character like Tiawan Gonglo.
But why did you leave him in the middle of the water then? This character that has all that it takes to liberate the country, but then you saw another character that didn't have everything that could liberate the country, but you went after that character. Did you follow the crowd to raid? Do you sometimes regret that decision? Was it a horrible decision you made
at
the 11th hour?
Nelson, it was not a decision that I regret today. And you know what? It was so good that even when I went abroad, the counselor and I, we just, you know, he had interest to talk to me, to be quite honest, but I was so busy, I could not make it through. He reached out to my man, Maurice Gassama, that he really wanted for us to talk. He's a man I understand, right? And at the end of the day, Nelson, for the sake of national interest, I saw that obviously the counselor had absolutely no shot. And the last thing I wanted is to give we have another opportunity to come back, right? So I went to where I felt, you know, majority of the people are leaning to. That might have not been my.
If you had to make that decision again, what would you do differently if you had to make that decision again?
Well, I tell you what, knowing what I know now, I would have definitely, you know, cautiously, think twice before actually. Because there's the thing, there's the thing, and I truly believe this, right? I really don't care, right? Whether I go into something I win or lose, right? But my conviction and what I believe in, if that can serve me right, I can absolutely go to sleep knowing that I went with my right hand, bro.
Thank you.
I don't regret that decision.
You know, we'll take another time to really hit you hard on this issue.
So we're not letting Nelson for you.
But it's not a great show.
He told you that he did not abandon the counselor. He saw that the counselor had no chance and he wanted to join
you stay where you're resting. The man left his counselor. The man left his counselor.
That was the most important thing.
I mean, Nelson, you say you saw it, bro. I mean, everybody saw it. Even my brother sent
Nelson himself voted for Bwaka, we know.
Come on.
Hey, no, you have nothing to prove that. You have nothing to prove that.
Voting card, or you took the
I mean, we saw it. There were videos.
Somebody saw you, though. Somebody saw you, my man.
We're not going to settle in for the diversionary tactics, you know, and everything. Emmy, you want to take 1 second, 30 seconds to conclude?
Oh, my man, I'm so glad to be with you.
You want to read discussion?
Okay, but then it's been a great show.
Because you and Toure talking, he said, Emmy, tell us to conclude. That's what I'm asking you. On you and Toure discussion, is that why you want me to take 30 seconds to conclude?
No, that's your closing. You're closing.
No, go ahead.
Right? Do your closing, yeah.
No, you guys already said it all. I don't have much to say. Just
thank you, Emmy. Thank you, Emmy.
Yeah.
Let me agree.
Thanks a lot, Emmy.
Yeah, second motion. Send motion.
Yeah. Thanks to everyone for being here. Thank you to Ray for coming on. Thanks to you, Sandy, and thanks to you, Emmy, as well. Our brother Mobile, he didn't charge it when it went off. Hopefully next time he can charge it better. And thanks to our brother Dr. J, who was here. We look forward to being here tomorrow. Until then, everyone have a good night.
Are you a medical doctor? I'm just asking for my neighbor.
Okay, the next time Dr. J comes on the show, we will ask him all the questions right on the show here.
Oh, okay. All right.
Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good night.
Pleasure, man.